Hi, so today I want to show you how I drew Florence Cathedral from start to finish in pencil, and I will give you some tips and tricks how you can also improve your skills in perspective drawing, in your graphite drawing, so that you also can create amazing artworks. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So first, few dry facts about my drawing. So I've been drawing it on the horizontal paper, 70 by 50 centimeters, so quite big. I've chose the paper this big because I wanted to include a lot of details and it wouldn't be possible to do it on the smaller one. Now the question is why I've chose this building to draw for you today, and the answer is super simple. I've just been this holiday in Florence and I've seen this building. It is so beautiful and I thought it would be perfect to draw. So here I come today with this simple perspective drawing, and we're gonna talk about how to start something like this. So I would say start with the visualization, how the end result would look. So for example, it is good to make few sketches, very little details, just where to position your main focus at this drawing. For example, for me it was this dome, so the kind of back side of this building, not the front, and it is much more detailed, much darker, and it just brings the entire focus of this drawing to this side. So now I'll tell you a few facts about this dome because I think the history of this one is so interesting. So the person who made the project and invented how they would do it was Filippo Brunelleschi, and he basically was challenged to create the greatest, the most interesting dome for this cathedral. And what's interesting, he didn't have any formal training, so he actually didn't know what he was doing. He used some methods which experts don't really understand to this day. You see, at the time the domes were built as semicircles, but the town fathers required Brunelleschi to build an 8-sided dome, which would be taller and stronger. It would also have no central support while constructing. Even worse, the dome base was an imprecise octagon, with no central point. But Brunelleschi had that covered. There wouldn't be one, but two domes. Inner and outer shell, held together by giant brick arches, and interlocking rings of stone. To make the construction process faster and easier, he designed many machines, like ox-driven oyster, and massive lifting devices far ahead of his time. Now back to the drawing. If you haven't noticed yet, the amount of details on those facades are just incredible, and yeah, for looking at it, it is wonderful. Many stones like marble and in different colors, some rosettes. It is just wonderful, but to draw it, I'm not gonna tell you how many hours I spent doing those squares and figures on the elevations, and the amount of windows. Actually, windows weren't the worst. The worst part was those details on the facade. It was so annoying to draw, and yeah, but it looks pretty spectacular. So a tip, if you struggle with details, if it takes too long for you, just try to in the darkness, in the shadow, not put so many details, because in real life we won't see them anyway if they are in the shadow. So in the drawing it's the same thing. I would try to avoid it. It makes the drawing more realistic and you save a lot of time not doing those details. So in the light, yes, very sharp, especially if the details are in the front. It's very important to make them sharp and very visible, but if they're at the back or if they are in the shadow, not make them too obvious. So with that being said, now I am almost finishing the entire cathedral, and we're gonna move to drawing the entire surrounding of this building. You can see how much happens around, so we need some tricks to make it faster, to make it as impressive as in real life, and also to get this feeling of narrow streets and very crowded city. So with those surroundings, I'm not really going into super details. I think all the buildings around, well, don't have as many details as the cathedral, of course, so I am making them more suggestive, and like we understand that those are the buildings, but they don't have to have a lot of details on them. But I just wanted to make a statement with in the background you can see another cathedral which is smaller, and I believe it's called Cathedral Medici. By including this cathedral, I just wanted to really show the location and the placement of this cathedral. So when I have every building blocked out, I really like to go back and take really soft like 6B pencil and just add some darkness to achieve a bigger contrast, because it makes the drawing, at least for me, much prettier. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you some tips and tricks how you can quickly improve your drawing even if it is finished. You can also do some stuff to make it look much better. So very briefly. First, depth. Decide what is your first plan and what is the second and what is the third. Second, in the places which are main focus, add more details. In the other, try to dissolve them into the nothingness. Okay, so I hope you understood what I tried to say. Making sure you separate the first plan from the other plans, from the back plans, is very, very important. It can save you a lot of time, a lot of struggle, and actually make the drawing look much better. Being very intentional with the details and where you put them, so even in real life your eye doesn't really capture all the details the same way. The details which are closer to you, they're much more sharp and you really can see them. Okay guys, this is it. I hope you enjoyed my video. It took me so long to finish it and to edit this one, but I hope it was worth it. So yeah, if you liked my drawing, if you enjoyed my video, please consider staying with me for a little longer, and I will see you next time very, very soon.